The good vibe, got the 1942 pouring in my cup. In the session, real loud, good gas, yeah, you know we about to roll it up. Bring the bottles to the session, big tab, go ahead and just live it up. Get lit one night, after that, we can go ahead.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon, and we're here on 95 South Podcast. Once again, I just got to thank God for this opportunity to be on here. It's such a blessing to be able to come on here every weekend, to be able to just be on this platform. And first and foremost, I gotta introduce my brother from another mother. You know what I'm saying? If you cut us, we might bleed the same blood out this joint. You know what I'm saying? My Ace Boon Coon, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Jacob, the great. What's going on, Doc?
Good morning, man. Just want to thank God for another opportunity. We the 95 South Podcast Network, and we bringing you the real and interviewing the best of the best. And we here and just growing rapidly.
Yes, sir. So I want to let you introduce this young lady, this talented young lady, and we get this thing started.
Well, this talented young lady really needs no introduction, but we are here with the honorable, the incomparable, Kimberly Newsom. She's an actress, she's a writer, she's a social influencer, she's an economic investor, and she's just all around, great person that definitely connect with people, builds a network. And she's here with us this morning, and we gonna get the real bulk of who she is and what she represents. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you so much for that warm, wonderful introduction.
You're definitely welcome. You're definitely welcome. So, Kimberly, I've been following you for quite a while, and I see you definitely do your thing. So, with you being an actress, so what made you want to be an actress, and what kind of steered you to get into that film world?
I'm going to try to make this very short. Okay, I've always wanted to be in the entertainment field. Even as a child, high school, all that, I was in drama class, I was singing in a choir. A lot of times when people are meant to be in the arts, they do several things, like they may sing and dance, or they may act and sing, or actually, just do different things. It's a combination of things. It's not normally just one thing that they're interested in. But I sing, I act, and I've always wanted to do it. However, I went into the military, and then I got married, started having kids, and I had to put all of my aspirations and dreams on the back burner. Okay. And so fast forward maybe, oh gosh, 20 something, 30 years later, then I decide once my youngest is a junior in high school, I decide I want to start taking acting classes. And I had a mentor that steered me in the right direction. And I just decided I didn't want to have any regrets. So I was like, well, why not? Let's try it out. Because in this field, you can never be too old, too young to be in the entertainment business. They're always needing every age, every size, every color. So that's what made me want to do it.
Okay. So upon you doing it, and you went to acting classes, and so what is that experience like of going to? Okay, let me rewind for a minute. Okay, so with you going in the military and then you coming to do acting later on in your life, did that discipline in the military help you buckle down with the acting? Because a lot of people that go in the military, and I see them, they like some different people that I didn't grow up with. They're real disciplined, they're really reserved. They really make every second count. It's no loose ends. They just really about their business and about growing that revenue for the future. So did that military discipline help you, with the structurizer being disciplined for being an actress?
I believe it did, because in this business, you have to be very committed and dedicated, and you have to have very tough skin. Like, you can't let little things bother you. You can't let things get you down. You basically have to keep yourself encouraged. Um, but yes, that particular discipline, it keeps me grounded. Because when I went into this, I had a mindset of, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it, and you're going to stick with it, because that's one of the things that I teach my kids. Like, if they win in any type of sport or anything, I was like, before I pay my first dollar, I need to know that you're going to stay in it, because once I put my money down, there is no quitting. so
Man,
so
you,
I
hey,
feel the same way. Like,
mm,
about me, I gotta lead by example. And that's what I feel like I'm doing, for my children, my nieces
mhm.
and nephews. I, I'm the oldest cousin on each side of my family, so I have a lot of family members that look up to me, and I've actually encouraged them to do things that they probably normally wouldn't. Like, you got to step out on faith. You got to believe that you can do it. If it's something that you want to do it. Don't let other people discourage you from living your dream, because your dream is your dream and nobody else's. So yeah, I believe that that discipline has definitely kept me grounded. It keeps me on track. A lot of times we have script after script after script after script to learn. I probably got like 5 sitting over there on my desk, but we have to learn those scripts, and then we kind of sort of got to throw it out the window and get ready for the next one. And it takes a lot of studying. You have to
Mhm.
study those lines in order to embrace the character. It really takes time. You really need to study and put forth the effort um, to make it real, to become that character, because it has to be believable.
Mm. Okay, okay, okay. Interesting. So, with you going, like, tell me the experience of going to acting school.
Well, acting school was tough because I really didn't know what to expect. Me just coming in, I'm like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go in there, show them what we have. But no, you actually have homework. There are different techniques of acting. Um, there are certain there's a vocabulary for acting. I mean, like I told a lot of friends, it's best to go to school, because even if you get on somebody's set, you need to understand what the director is asking for if they give you certain terminology. You don't want to be ignorant to the facts. They want somebody seasoned, they want somebody knowledgeable, um, they want somebody that's gonna understand the direction that is given. So acting class, it really did help me to step out of my comfort zone in many ways, because a lot of times, especially when we're first starting out, we're we may be a little nervous about being ourselves or becoming someone else, because those are now our peers in class. So they're trying to have the same experience that you are, but it's really different. It's kind of like just going into your regular job every day, and your coworkers know you, but
Mhm.
then you're kind of totally stepping out of your comfort zone, and everybody's looking at you like you're crazy. Well, Ashley, that is what you want, because you want their jaw to drop, because you want them to have a pleasant surprise, like, wow, she did that. Like, I can't believe she did that. That was amazing. That was great. So acting classes, I studied at Nick Conti's professional acting studio here in Atlanta. And now I actually have a couple of acting coaches, which one is Carl Kennedy. He's also a professional actor himself.
I know who you're
Um,
talking about. I definitely know who
yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah, he's really good. He has taught me so much. Not only has he taught me a lot having to do with the acting field, he's also just ingrained in my brain that I am enough. Like, look, it's gonna be okay. Like, you're gonna go out, you're gonna kill that audition. You're gonna ace that audition. However, you just may not be what they're looking for. I mean, and that's what it's about in the entertainment business. Right place, right time, right look, right attitude. It a lot goes into the casting director's decisions as to who they cast for certain films or television or what have you.
Okay. So why would you? Just an interesting question, more of a personalized question. What makes a person think that they're not enough? Cause I mean, I just think that we are the first people on earth, and us being black and brown people, I feel like that we are more than enough. And so whoever told us that we wasn't, I just think with all that we've been through and all that we have endured, all our parents, grandparents, great parents have endured, we're more than enough because we're still on this side of the dirt. And the ones that has gone on, they left a legacy where people be like, oh, you Tina's boy, or you John's boy, or you Jacob's boy. Like they know you, not because you look like your parents, but just because the things they hear that you do in the community. Oh yeah, that's definitely their child because they left that mark on them. And so a lot of times when people are going into a new repertoire, like you going to acting school or somebody might go to music engineering school, and when they get their first break, they'll have them thoughts, man. I'm nervous, man. Am I really the right person for this gig? Or so I just think that we should just kind of go with the flow and just give it our all and leave it there. Like my coach used to tell me, you do what you do on the football field and you just leave it there. Just leave it there. Don't take that agony or that pain with you over into practice on Monday because it ain't gonna end up good. So just leave it there. So why did you think that you wasn't enough?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I would be asked to sing at different places, yet I was not calling myself a singer. Why was I not calling myself a singer? Well, I used to say, well, I can sing. I can't sing, but I can sing. Like I can carry a note. However, I was, my coach was like, Kim, you're a singer. And then he would be like, I would be asked by all these photographers to come do a photo shoot or asked to be on a cover of a magazine or something like that. Yeah, I wasn't calling myself a model. Well, Kim, yes, you are a model.
Yeah, because you did not put that in your bio when you said you didn't put model, actress, singer, composer. Like, and now you telling me that people ask you to sing. People just don't ask random people to sing, man.
Right.
And you say you're not a singer. I mean, people that love, high octaves, riffs, and runs, and love people who can sing. A lot of older people tell me that Keith Sweating a singer. He's a show. He's a showman. He's an entertainer. He can whine, and whining got him far. So, but then a lot of people say, "Boy, that boy Johnny Gill now, that's a whole different beast."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like different levels. Like we can say that Drake is not a singer. He can harmonize, and he does it well. He sells millions of records doing it. So I mean, don't never sell yourself short.
Right. And so that's one of the things that my coach, he is my friend. He is my mentor. So a lot of times we do need those people in our corner. We need to have people in our circle that are going to be there to uplift us, to encourage us, as well as receiving that in return. And now at this place where I am right now, I'm in a really good place. I have a lot of confidence in what I do. Before I didn't think I had that confidence, but some of my friends would just observe me, like I would walk in a room and it's like my whole demeanor changed.
Right.
It's crazy how that happens, but when you learn how to encourage yourself and you build your self-esteem to where you feel really good about yourself, it changes. It's like you don't need somebody else to tell you, oh, well, Kimberly, you look really good. Well, I make it a point to make myself look how I feel. That's how I try to do it. Even there are events that I don't feel like going to, but once I pull it together, then I'm like, yes, okay, I'm ready now. I'm ready to go and just mingle, network, all these different things.
Right. So people definitely want to see you out there and see your face, see you make special appearances, and and that's a good thing. So networking, your network is your net worth. So that's what's up. So Icon, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Okay. You know what? I'm not tired of you humble people. No, I'm just messing with you. Nah, cause we just had another guy on here who's a international producer who produced up for Grammys and all kind of stuff, and he was super humble. You don't see that in the business no more. But for the people that don't know, where you from?
I am from a small town called Jasper, Florida. It is so small. It's about 30 miles from Valdosta. It's kind of where 10 and 75 meet.
Oh yeah, I've been through there several times when I used to travel a lot. So I know exactly what you're talking about. And the reason why I asked that question is because this is just like for the people out there that aspire to be where you're at and don't think that because they're coming from a small town, small area that they can't achieve. I'm from a small town in North Carolina, and a lot of time with my people, they just don't believe they can go outside those four walls of their city and do anything else besides what they've been doing. And then sometimes you would see it in major cities. People stay in certain neighborhoods in Atlanta, like Bankhead or somewhere, and then they feel like, oh, well, I can't. All I know is Bankhead. All I know is Southside Chicago. All I know is Brooklyn, New York, and that's it for me. So it's just one of those things where our mentality sometimes make us feel like just because what we see around us, this is it. And you coming from Jasper, Florida, which I know is a small town, you have a goal in mind and a dream in mind from young or whatever, and you decided to jump on it. Now another question is, what branch of military were you in?
I served in the U.S. Army. Well, I went into the reserves first, and then I came back home and decided to go regular Army. So I stayed in the Army for about 7 years. And the reason why I got out at that time is I was married to a soldier as well. And we started having children, and somebody had to stay home with the children.
I understand that. Yeah, I've been in the Air Force myself, so.
Oh, well, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Now, you got 2 shows that I love, and my brother tell you this. You was on Fatal Attraction, and you was on Snapped, correct?
Right, I was.
So is that considered reenactment acting, or like is that considered like method acting? What kind of acting is that really considered?
Well, it's definitely not method acting. Method acting is more of, it's basically like the process you go through to get ready for the role. The method acting is like, say for instance, like I was going to be a detective on Fatal Attraction. It's the process that I would go through. Like I would probably watch some cop shows, maybe SVU, some different things. I watch some cop shows and look at some of their mannerisms. I would study my script and add those mannerisms into what I was doing in the script. That's like the process that you go through in order to get, in order to be that person or do that role. But any of the true crime shows are reenactments. It's just that some of them are sound up and some of them are sound down. Like the sound up ones would be like your Fatal Attraction, your ATO Homicide, because they're actually hearing you talk. They're seeing all of your actions, everything. However, if the sound is down, it's something like snapped, because they may not be hearing everything you're saying, or sometimes you may be blurred out. And it's the same with Investigation Discovery with John Walsh, is sound down. So there are some of those shows that are sound down. And for somebody that's just getting started in the industry, the sound down would be a great way to go. However, some of us that are a little more seasoned, we prefer to do the sound up, because we need that footage. We need all of that interaction, all of the lines, the speaking lines, to incorporate into our reel, which is actually our video resume. So we need those things.
Yeah, because that's what I noticed. I seen your clip when you was at the desk talking to the detectives, you know, and I was like, okay. I said, yeah, she got some chops, because they got her doing the sound like she going through a whole acting scene on here. Like she might have to get a role in some crime movie or something, because you know she actually got some real lines in here, not just, you know, where they can see you talking but they can't hear you, or whatever the case may be. So Betty, so how did you land? Was it a process of landing that gig with Fatal Attraction? Because I'm always curious about how people, because we've had a few other people that have been on here that's been on Fatal Attraction, I think for my man, a couple of other ones. So what was the process of getting those two gigs, especially probably Snap, because you might be the first one we had that was on Snap though.
Yeah, I did Snapped, Investigation Discovery with John Walsh. There was a new one called Vengeance. I did Vengeance, but that one is on like CNN. That one is another crime show. But the process is basically the same. We many of us have agents that will send us auditions to do. During COVID, self-tape auditions became big. Like we would tape them at home or go to a studio and tape them and just upload them and send them in. So basically the in-person auditions had almost ceased. So the process is you may have an agent send you the audition, or you may go on to some of the websites like Actors Access, Casting Networks, and you may submit yourself, and then they'll send you something back telling you whether or not they want you to audition. And then you'll get contacted. A few days after you audition, you'll get contacted as to whether you have the role. Now, if you don't hear anything, that means you didn't get it. But rarely are you contacted letting you know that you didn't get it. You just kind of sort of know. But because I've done quite a few of those true crime shows, the casting director kind of knows me. So I know one time, because I have a lot of different looks. I don't know if you've been on my Instagram or things like that. I change my look up quite often depending upon what is required. Or so the casting director just picked up the phone and gave me a call. I didn't have to audition none of that, because she was like, hey, one of my actresses has COVID. I need a detective. I'm offering you the role. Because I know she knew I had an arsenal of wigs. She knows that she knows that I have something that kind of fits that role. So it could be something as easy as that, you know, just somebody that knows you picking up the phone, giving you a call. And that's what you want. You want these casting directors to get to know you. That's why it's always pertinent. It's very important that you go on set, you be on time, you do what is asked of you, be able to follow direction. And then they're going to invite you back. You know, that's a lot of the success that I've had is by getting to know and networking with a lot of directors and producers in the area. not only in the area, well, I would say the Southeast, because they'll just say, "Hey, Kim, I have something for you." So, you know, that's what you want. You want that. You want them to know you as somebody that can get the job done, that can bring their words to life.
You know, it's funny you say that. I said, because I was thinking last night, I said, you know what? I love them shows so much. I don't even want to act on. Just let me be the brother that's dead at the beginning of the episode. I just want to be able to say I did it.
Well, you know, they do have a website. Well, actually, you go on Facebook to Jupiter Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they're looking for people that look like the person. It could be the victim. It could be, you know, the suspect, whoever, the neighbor, whoever. And a lot of times they want people that look like these people. And if you could even pass for one of those people, they put you on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so basically, it's a question I want to ask you, and I think it's very important for our people. That a lot of times, and I thought about this the other day. I think we're the only race of people who have this misconception that if we're pimps, if we're drug dealers, if we're this, if we're in a dress, that we're selling out, that we're settling. But no other race of people kind of has that stigma put on them. So it's just more like this is basically like a lot of actors. Like if you look like a Clifton Powell, he just likes to work. You know what I'm saying? Like you see Clifton Powell in every DVD, home movie, stuff. You be like, why is he even in this movie? He in it. You know, like we've seen him in the Tupac movie. Like, what? Why is he even in here? Like, you know, it's just he's just one of those kind of guys. You could just tell he just work. He just like to work, and he'll tell you, I don't turn down nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you have certain actors like maybe probably a Denzel, or, you know, that's just as accomplished who will say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. So in your mind, are you kind of like I just want to work, or you kind of one of the ones that like feel like at some point, like maybe not right now, but at some point you're going to be more selective in what you pick?
Well, right now, my main concern right now is, I'll just put it this way. The things that I look at right now, opposed to when I started, I basically want to see the script, see what role it is that you're asking me to play. I want to take a look at some of your previous work so I can determine, because I don't want to be in anything where the footage is not clear or the sound is not clear. You know, I want to research a little bit. Now, before, when I was just getting started, I wasn't as selective. But it's not a whole lot of roles that I will turn down. For me, I've done a gay role. However, I wasn't doing things that I wasn't kissing and things like that. We were holding hands, you know, and things like that. So I don't mind doing that. However, you know, it just depends on what it is. You know, I mean, as an actor or actress, we can be selective in what we do. We really can. However, if it's something that you feel that would challenge you, by all means, I think you might want to do that. Because when you look at some of the household names, they've done a lot of things that people probably wouldn't imagine doing. However, but it's entertainment. This is how they win, you know, these Oscars. This is how they win, you know, all these awards. It's because somebody is out there just bearing their soul. They're putting it all out there on the line. And that is how you win those type of, that's how you get those type of recognitions. And yeah.
And you know what's funny? You say that, I'm gonna get back to my brother after I say this. When I think about with the gay roles, and you have those two types of gay roles. You have the ones where it's kind of going always, I think, too much to the extreme, like Lee Daniels does, and a lot of his stuff. And then you have like the Modern Family, who basically you had this gay couple on there that was raising kids. So it kind of more, to me, it shows more of a positive side of that world, which I think puts a better light on them than when you
Mhm.
see with Lee Daniels and like Empire, where it kind of showed too much and it made people feel uncomfortable watching that world. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it can be like you said, you can play that gay role or whatever and still keep it, respectable and within the lines. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So I don't think you have to show all the other stuff to let people know, oh, this is to make it understood what this person is, what they're playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the thing, with the actors, you have every right to, decline a role. But more than likely, when you submitted for that role, you already knew what it was about because they're gonna tell you. It
Mhm.
most of the time it has it clear as day there what the description is of that character, and at that time, that's when you should just pass on it if it's not for you, because a lot of these roles are not for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, go ahead, my brother.
Okay, so ATL Georgia, ATL Alien. You know, it's I call it Black Hollywood. So, with you living in Black Hollywood, what are some more? What are some scripts that you're hoping to get, or what are some things that you need writers to tap into? Playwrights, screenwriters. And what are some documentaries that you want to see? About actress as far as black women who are in acting in Atlanta.
um I would say I would love to. I'm gonna tell you a couple people that's really on my list, that I'm working toward, that I would really like to work with, um, or be a part of any film or television they may have.
Mhm.
Will Packer,
Okay.
Ava DuVernay. I would love to work with Tyler Perry. Try to stay in front of his casting director, Raven Drummer. um, those are some of the, Lee Williams too. I mean, I really would. I really would. Those are some of the writers, producers, directors that I would love to um, work with someday. I'm working hard to try to get there, taking the steps to get there. Um, as far as documentaries, um, not real sure about the documentaries that I would love to see. I know that I'm hoping to be in a film/series. Not sure what it's going to be, but I do have a friend that's going to have a show out, probably sometime next year, and it's a period piece. I believe it's gonna be like from the 30s to like 2000. No, the 30s
Mhm.
to maybe like the 70s. So I can't tell you what the name of it is, but that's the period piece.
Okay. Okay.
But
So.
I'm hoping to be a part of that. I've actually been contacted about that. Um, Documentaries. I would just love to see anything, any kind of classic or any vintage piece. I would love to see it, and I would love to be a part of it. Those that is one of my dreams right there, is to actually be in a period piece, something that's in the 30s or the 40s. So I'm hoping to achieve that by at least by the summer.
Okay. 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 So you know, studied you a little bit. No, I know who you are. So I said, man, and people be like, that's one of your favorite writers. I was like, yeah. So I love the dude who wrote the TV series The Walking Dead.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And so I talk to a lot of black actors, black actresses, and I'm like, man, would you think you'll fit it's just about to go off, but it's been on for a lot of seasons. I said, so man, why didn't you ever apply for a
11
character?
seasons.
Yeah, a Walking Dead, man. I was like, but you still gonna have the opportunity because he's gonna have a spinoff as well.
Hmm.
So you gonna have the opportunity, just like I love the writers like from The Walking Dead, and he was one of the writers from Sons of Anarchy, and I love the writer from Greenleaf because I feel like Greenleaf is about black people as a whole. Like if you from the church like myself, like Greenleaf kind of like hit us in the like, oh, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, and I think when they come back out with the series, and Lynn Whitfield is going to be the bishop now, it's interesting to see how that's going to work, and it's interesting to see how when Empire come back out, how Cookie's going to take over the city. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Oh,
Oh,
definitely.
time out, time
Yeah,
out. Both of them coming back?
yeah, they're supposed to be.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, they're supposed to be. They're
Good
supposed
to
to be
know.
coming back, and so I watched another series, on the OWN network called Cherish the Day. You know,
Oh,
it's,
I started watching it. I haven't finished watching it yet.
it's
But I did watch a few episodes of that. I really like that show.
it's really good, right? Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
So it's really good. And this brings me back to you as an actress. I peek in my mama room sometime, and she watching Lifetime, and then I peek in, then I've seen more of a Vivica A. Fox on a lot of Lifetime series. And I said, okay, Vivica kind of changed the narrative, they put her on. I was like, the white people messing with Vivica like that now. They put her on a lot of these series. So what do you think about, black actors and actresses, applying for stuff on Lifetime, like somebody you might know, Mr. Bobby Peoples. You familiar?
Yes.
So I watched his series, his movie that him and his wife directed on Lifetime. You Can Never Go Back Home Again, with
Hmm.
starring Omar Gooding,
Right.
and I was like, okay, cause it's like Lifetime movies stay on forever. It's like
Yes, they do.
it's like I can just imagine some of the royalty checks from the people who played in Lifetime movies, and then you got people who you see always in Lifetime movies. So would you like to do something with Lifetime or be in some castings with a Lifetime movie?
I would love to. I would love to be on Lifetime, BET Her, um, even Hallmark.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, all of those are great, great networks to be on. Um, I would.
Even the UPN network, that's a
Oh
faith
yeah.
network, but
Hmm.
they have great, great, great movies.
Mhm. And what's that other network? Because Omar Gooding is on. He was on a sitcom, in Saints and Sinners. You know what I
Oh
mean? So
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot the name of that network. But because I don't even think it's on cable, or that it didn't start off on cable.
I seen Saints and Sinners on Hulu. That's
Yeah,
what I
Yeah.
but
seen.
it
But
started
it
off
it
on.
was on something else.
Yeah, it was on another network, but that wasn't part of cable at the time, and that was a great, great show. But it didn't really get the recognition it deserved because
And
the
my
fact that it was on a major network.
a lot of people who seen it on Bounce TV.
Bounce, that's what.
That's
Yeah,
what it
so
was.
Bounce, yeah, so it was on Bounce, and Bounce has a lot of great shows. It had In the Cut, it had what I'm saying, it had Saints and Sinners. It had the show that Omar Gooding on, who's an underrated actor in himself, or whatever. So so definitely, I think for us a lot of times, like you said, Vivica A. Fox is on a lot of different stuff. Angela Bassett is on 911. So these
Hmm.
great shows or whatever. So
Hmm.
so basically, where do you see your ultimate goal? Like what? Well, let me ask you this question: What's your all time greatest period piece movie?
Hmm. Oh my goodness, that's hard. Okay, so I really
Give me a
love
few. You can give me a few of
the
them if
film
you
that
don't
came
can't
out
narrow down to one.
with Idris Elba, The Harder They Fall. I really like that. I love the toughness behind it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, people don't think I can get down with a gun, but I can. I go to the fire range. See, I do that too because
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, so I can handle a weapon. Um, I also, but I do love that movie because of the toughness that it showed with the women or the griminess. I like that. However, if it was gonna be something where it was like ladylike, I would probably say for the show, Godfather Holler.
Okay.
I love that show.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
So it's
Mhm.
Color Purple. That's considered a piece in Color Purple.
Color Purple
Is
was
that
a
considered?
great one as well.
Yeah, cause that's mine right there. Like that
That
one.
was an amazing film. I actually had a chance to see Fantasia on Broadway in New York, and it was just that show was amazing. I saw her in New York, and I saw her. I want to say, where else did I see them? It may have been here,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
then this has been several years ago. But I loved it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
My
movie.
sister used to watch that movie every Christmas. My sister, that was her go-to movie on Christmas Day. And when that or whatever Christmas week, she would watch The Color Purple because we watched it in the movie theater as kids. And that was the first movie as a child that ever made me actually shed a tear. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Ah,
that movie it's so intense, and it's so much that goes on when you see what Whoopi went from the time of childhood all the way up through, adulthood. And, I tell people, I say the thing about it is probably one of the realest things. People probably don't think that movie was real, but that's kind of how life was back in those times. Like the way they
yeah,
were treated and the way they was auctioned off. Our own people would almost auction off and enslave our own people like that. That was a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Back
Mhm.
then. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but go
yeah.
ahead, go
She
ahead.
definitely took us on a journey with her. We were
Mhm.
able to see all the highs and lows, so we were on that roller coaster with her. So there was some things we laughed about, some things we cried about. We were
Mhm.
angry. Uh,
Yeah.
there are a lot of different emotions in that film for sure.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead,
And,
Jack.
so I'm pretty sad though, right, Icon?
What's that?
They taking one of my favorite shows off, bro.
What?
I ain't gonna be no more Law and Order criminal content. They going, man. Like a lot
Oh,
of
they
them
finally
quitting.
taking it off.
A lot of them quitting, man. A lot of them got kids now. They raising their kids and they taking it off, man. Like
It's been
Yeah.
20 years, hasn't it? It's been like almost 20 years, hasn't it?
2023.
Yeah, it's been a long. Some of them
Yeah,
shows been around,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
the
You
thing,
know,
man. If you can get on a show like that, like with Ice-T,
Yes.
Mhm.
all of them, if you get on shows like that you know that's gonna be around for decades and long, that's a blessing. You know what I mean? To
It
be on
is a total blessing. Like one of my favorite shows that's out right now, and I'm waiting on season 5 to come out. But believe it or not, is Yellowstone.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
listen, man. Who can't believe it? Who can't believe it? Everybody, listen, man. I was talking to my Uncle Tony. He was like, "Man, you know it's back on, don't you?" I said, "Uncle Tony, what you talking about?" He said Yellowstone. Like, and then I be seeing people that's 22 and 23 posting about Yellowstone. I'm like,
Yes.
now when you got a show like that with older actors and you can reach these young people
Yes.
and they can't take their eyes off Yellowstone, you gotta doing something. You know
I
what I
put
mean?
my kids on that. And the writer of Yellowstone, I don't know if y'all know Taylor Sheridan. He makes appearances in Yellowstone. He's the actual the rider that goes and shows the horses. He's a rodeo
Mhm.
guy too.
Okay.
And he is an amazing writer. Like if you've seen 1883, that's another series that's gonna lead all the way up to Yellowstone. Like if you watch 1883, now 1923 is coming out soon. And those are all gonna tie into the history of Yellowstone.
But you know, I just gotta ask you, since we talking about series, you know, me and my mama was talking, and when my Uncle Melvin, when he was with us, he used to be like, you know, TV made me so sick. I said, why? I said, why, Unc? He said, they ain't had no business taking for life off TV. Listen
I know
to
that's
me.
right.
Listen to
When
me.
they did that, they
When I
were
tell you,
so wrong.
for life had people at the like not sitting back on the couch, but sitting at the edge of the couch. Like it's like no
Absolutely.
50,
And
like
one of my
like
good friends,
mm,
we were in the military together. And this is the person that actually called me up after 20 something years. We had been out of contact and said, because he got my number from an old friend. And he was like, hey, Kim, what are you doing? I thought I'd never talk to you again. Da, 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 da. He wanted to know all about me. He was like, well, you know I'm an actor, right? I said, stop lying. He said, no, for real. He said, Google me. And I Googled him. And it's my good friend, Royce Johnson. He's on Marvel Daredevil and The Punisher as Detective Brett Mahoney. But he is the one that actually mentored me. And I guess uprooted that seed that was there. Because I've always wanted to become an actor. And it just brought back all those feelings of, oh God, I really want to act. So I'm going to do what it takes to do it now. Because I think there's a season for everything. I think God was like, no, we're not going to do this now. We're going to do it later. Because if you would have done it back then, you would have quit because everything else would have came first. But now I'm put it in front of you when you about got these kids out the house, you know, and then you can just take care of you. Like you can do this. You can go in full fledged. But he is the one. And he was on the last 5 episodes. I think 4 or 5 episodes of For Life. He was the guy that got shot.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
They had the wife and the kids. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
That's an old army buddy of mine.
And I can say this about you, Kim. You know, 50 Cent, man. I just tell people, man, like he's just like a mad scientist, man. Like I was listening to one of his dudes that used to run G Unit, Shy Money XL. They was like, man, he might not go in the studio
Right.
for 4 or 5 months. He might be just sitting there and writing every day for 4 and 5 months. You know what I mean? And like he's just a mad scientist with it. And just like I've like even with his shows like Power and Raising Kanan and just all the power, it's like he keep you in this suspense. Like who would ever thought a dude said you can catch me in the club with a bottle of bug, you know what I mean, would be this genius writer. You know what I mean? Just a genius at it, man.
Oh yeah.
I heard Jay-Z said
He's had the greatest run. He's had the greatest run of TV shows I've ever seen. Like as far as
Yeah, it's
the
amazing.
type of shows he does. You've had some
I heard
black
Jay-Z
writers
said-
from back in the day, like especially, but not like this. Not
yeah,
like
man,
this.
like I heard Jay-Z said, he said 50 Cent the smartest hood, you know what I know. Like for real. He was like, what? He was like, man, like he was talking about how Beyonce just like set the DVR for when she come off the road because she knows she got to watch everything that 50 ever wrote. You know what I mean? Like for real.
He don't get
That's
his
amazing. And you say again?
He don't get his. Yeah, I said he don't get his credit when you can dominate a whole major network like he done.
Yes.
Like he's done. He's dominated a whole major network. Like
Stars.
You know what I mean?
He's all over
Yeah.
stars.
yeah,
Like
all
he
over.
just brought stars back to the forefront so much.
Right. Because before it was HBO and Cinemax.
Right.
Or
right,
either
right,
people were going streaming,
right.
doing more streaming. But now a lot of people are getting stars for those television shows, for those shows that are coming out.
That's right.
But I hate to cut you off because we press for time or whatever. But I thank you for coming on. But I will say this, and I told my brother this when he sent me over the information on the picture of you. I said, "Who's that? That Nia Long cousin?" Because I was like, if anything, if she ever did a documentary or a movie on her life, I said she could play Nia Long. Because I said
especially
y'all resemble each other.
Especially with that short curly hair,
You know what I mean?
the short hair with the curls. I was like, yeah.
I said, I don't know if anybody ever told her that, but she resembles Nia Long a lot. You know what I mean?
I get that quite a bit.
Okay. I would make sure I wasn't crazy. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming on and give us your information, social medias, all that kind of good stuff, or whatever, if you can.
You can reach me at I think it's Kimberly Newsome 50, and on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram it's I am Kim Newsome, as well as TikTok.
Okay.
And I want to thank you all for bringing me on. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. You all have given me a lot of information and a lot of feedback, and I really appreciate it.
No doubt. But I'll definitely be in touch with you. And I got something else for you, so I'll be in touch.
Okay.
And one last thing, what's the next gig for you? What's the next movie, show, whatever you got coming up?
I have a couple, but the one that'll probably be out soon is called The Other Side of Me, and it was written and directed by Carlton Clay. That's probably going to be the next one that comes out because it's in post-production right now.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you for coming on. You have a blessed and wonderful weekend. And, hopefully we can have you back on again when you got some, when you're trying to promote something big, or we can come out to your event and, whatever, and kind of support you, whatever you need from us, we're here for you.
Well, thank you so much. I got a lot to do today. I'm going to a gala tonight. It's for the bosses and bossettas. So I got nominated for a bossetta for Actress of the Year and Model of the Year. So 2 categories, and I'm really excited about that. So
all right.
I'm gonna get cracking, and thank you so much for everything, guys.
All right, you have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Good vibe, got the 1942 pouring in my cup. In the session, real loud, good gas, yeah, you know we about to roll it up. Bring the bottles to the session, big tab, go ahead and just live it up.